Welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. My name is Dmitry, and we're actually going to do this video together with Ian. He is running the camera, but he's going to also provide a lot of good input here. So we're all car enthusiasts, and for those of you that are on our channel, you usually see content on motorcycles, automobile service, repair, and all kinds of fun stuff. Occasionally, we'll bring a little tweak that we do with tools or learn about new tools. We don't do it very often, but we just ran into something that we feel is very important for us as car enthusiasts. And since we are delivering motoring content, most of our viewers are car enthusiasts, but if you're viewing this content because you searched for a particular tool bag, because that's what we're gonna have on this table very shortly, definitely check out the other content on this channel, because you probably drive a car and ride a motorcycle. So you might find a lot of very interesting things. And in advance, we thank everybody for watching this video. Please consider sharing and subscribing. So let's get right to it. As a car enthusiast, of course, we love to work on our cars inside a bay, preferably in the professional environment, or if we do it at home, we still organize things and we have our tools. And usually it's some kind of a toolbox or tool cart, but it's in organized manner. That's how we would like to do it. Sometimes we're mobile. We may be on the track, we just may be going out to help a friend, or we're just driving a vehicle that may not make it to the destination, and we have to be, like in old days, you have to fix it right then and there. So for that, you have to have a mobile storage device, and I call it device because it has to be purpose engineered, purpose built to carry your tools, your very specific tools. And there are a lot of options out there. And again, if you were looking for content about tool bags, this is it. Yes, we're not HVAC techs. We're not like mobile electricians that work on electrical of the buildings. We work on cars, but there's a lot of overlap between tool bags, and it took us a long time to come up with what we feel is an ultimate solution. What is ultimate solution for us, for me, or for Ian may not be the solution for you, but we're gonna share with you our path to our ultimate solution, what we ran into in between, and maybe some of those would work for you. So we're actually gonna bring a lot of value to this video for anyone that is looking for an ultimate tool storage on the go. So let's get right to it. What do we start with? We start with something very simple, very basic. And it's a tool bag. It's no more than a tool bag. So you have a bag, you have tools. And I know that this particular set belongs to a very organized person, and this is the best they can do with it. It's actually nicely organized, given that it is contained in the bag. So, and I can tell by the type of the tools that this is what I would want to have if I was driving a 1971 Alfa Romeo GTV in original condition, unrestored, across the country, probably a little more. But this is it. This is what you have. You have a nice sturdy bag. We can tell this bag has been around, and we know that this bag helped a lot. And the dimensions of this bag, just so you can see what kind of tools you can get in there, it's about 9 inches on the bottom footprint by 13 inches by 8 inches high, and it's certainly is a little bowed, and you can still close it if you repack a few things, and it still can close. It can go in the car, and when someone needs it, it's there. There are fuses, there are batteries, there are little kits of different bits and power drives, sockets, and everything that you need for a fix on the go. Actually, this one is even more than that. You can do recently with this bag a valve cover was replaced on a 6-cylinder BMW successfully. So what is the next step from this, you say? Say you want to go to a next level. What do you have? And when I say next level, I guess in the cost and in its capacity. This is by Craftsman, and this is the Versastack bottom. So whether you use the Versastack or not, this is still a very, very good option, because look at what you have inside. So now you can take your tools and you can actually put your tools right in there. So dimension-wise, we have 16 by 13, and actually in closed position, it's a little less, and by about 8 3/4. And the reason we're doing this measurement is because what we learned when we were searching for a bag, measurements that you have from specifications, they often are measured with handles up. So then they give you a measurement of, say, 16, but it's nowhere near the 16, especially if the handles are hard handles. We'll get to those. But here you have all these different rings and adjustable things you can add things to, tools to. And then what I like about this, you have larger bags on the outside, so you can put things in there. You have something on the side. You have individual things here. So there are a lot of options, and we're not going to take your time and stuff all the tools here, but you can probably already imagine that a lot of things will go in there. What I like about this bag, what I found with others was not the case. These have a little bit of width, thickness accounted for. So when you start putting things in, you can actually put things in. Because if you have something as slim as this, you really cannot put anything other than very slim things. But this bag has some extras there. And on the inside, you also have a good amount of bags. You have the bottom where you can put power tools, even the charger. There are things on the side. So we find this is very functional bag. And for this money, in our opinion, this is one of the best options. And as far as specifically what it is, just so you can see, it is a 17-inch tool bag, Versastack by Craftsman, with a lifetime warranty. I'm sure it's a limited warranty, but it sounds good. So, and it looks like there are even more bags, more pockets on the side. Look at that. So this is awesome. This is very, very good. We were almost happy with it. But we said, you know what? What if we expanded our budget? What can you get in your budget? This is the spec sheet, and this is called, where is it? Formal name, structured tool bag. Check this out. 15-inch, and when they give you, and the part number is 48228316. And it is available on pretty much everywhere. So there are a lot of good things about this bag, a lot of good bags. And yes, when they say it is a 15-inch, yeah, the base is 15-inch, and to be exact, it is 15-inch. What's important, it's a little less. What's important is what do you have on the inside, and on the inside here, we do not have quite 15-inch. We actually have, let's see, yeah, we have very close, 14 3/4. And then look at all these compartments. Look at all these different things. And I will tell you some pros and cons in this bag compared to a couple other options. But at this time, when we're looking at it, this is a major upgrade from this. And of course, it's more expensive. It is a close to $300 bag. And it's worth every penny. It's very heavy duty, and you can put a lot of things in this bag. What was important for me is to fit a certain laptop. It didn't fit there. And the reason it didn't fit there, because it just didn't fit there. And they said it's 15 inches, And this one is a little less than 15 inches. So if I measure this, it says 13 inches. So when you go to put it in there, this opening turns out to be small. So you can definitely stuff it in there, but it's certainly not the way to carry a laptop because it wouldn't be easy to take it out. And yes, we do need sometimes a laptop, even when we go and we do certain tasks with cars, because you need to look up technical information. You do need to maybe look at the certain schematics, and there's a lot of information that we just need to have access to. And if you have an iPad, smaller iPad, it will fit in here just fine. So that's good for that. And it actually would fit even in this pocket. There's a pocket on this side. So this is a very good bag. And dimensionally, we already talked about horizontal dimension. Let's look at the vertical dimension. It measures 13.5 inches. And on the top, across these 2 points on the inside, it measures just under 12 inches. So this bag has a distinctive handle, if you look at it. It's actually very comfortable to hold, but it is kind of like a bulky piece that is always there. You cannot put it flat one way or the other. It's just there all the time. But it does have a purpose because this bag has a very comfortable shoulder belt, very comfortable shoulder belt. And then they came up with this brilliant idea. So you can put it over this. And now this is not an issue. It's just not loose. It's contained. You can still carry it. So we were almost happy with it. And again, we're not going to get into very fine details, specific review of this bag, because there are some details. I will later point out pros and cons of each bag that we noted here. But it does have a lot of pockets, and everything is a very nice quality, very sturdy, and it looks like it will last a very long time, and it probably will last a very long time. So here we have a next step up for a car and motorcycle enthusiast. Well, this one would be tough to go on the motorcycle, except if you end up with a Ural motorcycle, because that one has a sidecar and almost 3 cubic feet of trunk space, not to mention the full sidecar. So we have that.
I think I know where we're going next now.
Where?
The backpack storage.
Absolutely. Yes.
So if you only have 2 wheels and no sidecar, these are the ones you would need.
Exactly. And in the backpack world, this is nice because it has a limited height, but in the backpack world, you do have another way to carry your tools. But I'll tell you, if you set up your tool bags with everything you want, it's probably gonna be heavy, very heavy. So, but yeah, if you do need to get it on your bike, you can definitely put it on your back and go with it. So let's get to it. The next bag we have is also in Milwaukee. This one we had to wait for because it just came out recently. And in my assessment, it has the same or very close design on the bottom. It's a little narrower. Oh, let's get the part numbers out of the way. disregard that. 4822-8303. 4822-8303.
Structured backpack.
Structured backpack. And there is a true meaning here for word structured. This thing is structured. There is a structure. Like this whole thing is very, very, very rigid. And this one has tons of features. If we start diving into all individual features of this is not what this video is about. There are other videos that I watched where if you really sense that this may be the direction you want to go, you may want to look at those. But I will tell you, it has a very comfortable side of the backpack that's actually facing your back. It is very comfortable. These, in my opinion, could be a little better, but they're still very reasonable. But for the amount of weight that goes in there, I feel that these should be a little softer. It does have this awesome hook. So if you are working somewhere and you want to have your tools on a certain height and you can utilize this, this is great. And then of course you would have this portion closed, and this is your tool side of the bag. So let's start from here. I do like this handle much better. Look at this. It's got a hinged handle, and it's a very nice implementation. It has a nice curve, and it just feels great. Then we get into the main compartment of the tool bag, and this one is very nicely done. There are little Velcros on the side that, oh no, these are Velcros, but they're also riveted. And then, so this has a limitation how far it will open. This is pretty much the limit right here, but this is reasonable. It will work. It has this compartment, which is very, very nice. You can definitely fit some items for quick access.
A burrito.
Yes, a sandwich, yeah. So that's that. And then you have multiple compartments. And we're going to talk about how these compartments are implemented with different brands, because after this Milwaukee, Packout is a big deal, actually. Let's talk about that in a moment. But after we're done with Milwaukee bags, we're going to get into another 2 brands. So definitely stay tuned with this video. Continue watching because there's more interesting content coming in. So we're going to talk about these, how these are implemented with different brands. That is very, very important. And that is something that we only learned after we were able to look at each brand individually. And every one of these bags we tried with different tools. We obviously have plenty of tools to try, and we tried it. And I will tell you later in the video why I personally settled on certain bag. What were the contributing factors? It doesn't mean that everything was perfect about that bag, but there were definitely things that swayed me towards that. So definitely put in your comments which bag, maybe you have one of these bags already, and let other viewers know what your thoughts are. So this has side pockets, and you can see, let's take a closer look to how things are implemented. It is nicely done. It's very, very sturdy. You can see it right here. It doesn't have unfinished edges. Everything is actually nicely designed. There's another pocket actually with these adjustable things, you can see. So that is all of a sudden you have all this massive compartment. What kind of things you can put in there? So we can put in there this driver. It goes nice in there. You can throw a couple of batteries. You can top it off by another driver. Okay, you can top it off by an impact gun. You can put a snap-on or any kind of drill, and you can still put stuff in there. And watch that, it's still standing on its own. There's no weight there. So it's a very well-balanced bag. You can even put more stuff in there. So you can actually put a lot of stuff, and it still looks kind of reasonable. But if you want to turn it into unreasonable, you take something like this, and you put it in there, and then it's a problem.
We need one on the other side too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So you definitely have some really good options with this bag. Very good options. I did like this bag a lot, and I think for someone in construction business, this would be for sure my choice. And for me, what was important, again, I'll just share that, and it's certainly nothing to do what's important for another person. But for me, I needed to have things that I can just fix something at the house. I just have it in my car. I can do just a quick adjustment somewhere. I can do a quick tie down a door handle, just a quick repair. because I don't have a large tool set at home, I have to rely on something that I have mobile, and I have it in the car. I also wanted to have some things. I'd love to have a laptop there, but that was an extra bonus, and it turned out that bonuses actually would not work, because if I wanted to bring the bag with a laptop, it's a heavy bag, and I end up not even putting the laptop in there. But if you have to bring your laptop with you for the type of work you do, this is a great bag, because this is a Surface laptop. It's a 15-inch screen laptop, and you can easily put it in here, just easily, right here. So watch this. It just goes in there. That actually goes in the side pocket, and it would still close. You see? It still closes. This is not even a main laptop pocket. The reason I put it here, because it's easier to access. You open it, and you just remove it. Putting it on the inside, you have about 2 inches of recess, and it makes it a bit tighter to go in there. And then you also have a massive compartment in the middle that you can also put the laptop. So I think like Panasonic Toughbook would easily fit in here with all kinds of chargers and a couple of iPads and so forth. And what's important to note, if we look inside, let's look inside. What I like about this compartment, it actually has a soft bottom. So you can put a laptop in there and not worry about a hard surface on the bottom, because some of the bags didn't have that feature. And if I look on this side, so with a soft bottom, I do like that if I need to carry my computer, and it goes right in there, right? So that's great. But if I'm carrying tools, and tools have some dust and dirt and things like that, that, in my opinion, could be negative. And it's riveted down. It is riveted down. So to clean that will take some challenge. So I'd probably figure something out to make it clean easier, not get dirty. You can do different things with it. But anyway, Packout. For those of you that have the Packout system, let's peek at it. This is actually a very, very good bag. Very good bag. Because it works awesome with the Packout system. We're not going to dive into the Packout system, but we will tell you why it works so great with it, because you can not only have a bag, but you can have a bag with a
durability testing.
Yes. So you can have a bag with a really cool, so the way Packout works, there are these receiving pieces and there are slides, and all we need to do is boom. So now you have a pretty cool thing. And actually what I like about it, you don't have to lean too far to grab it. So it's almost at your walking height. And there you go. So, and then it can go on top of your Packout system. So you can actually put it right there. And there it is. And here's your backpack. And actually it is true for this one as well. So if we were to put it here, there it is. And then you can attach that. It sits on the box, but it can go on another bag with the wheels, and then it becomes easily mobile. And it definitely, this is a nice feature. And by the way, this bag has this handle that I love it. It has it on this side and on this side, and it's very, very sturdy. And I didn't think of it right now again, but it's a great handle to have, because this one doesn't have the handle. So I would be using something like this to take it off the Packout system. So there it is, and Here's our Packout thing. Yeah, weight is also important. Obviously, this is heavier than that. This is heavier than that. And then this is the lightest of them all. So it's always going to win in that department. So we have kind of looked at, I shouldn't say reviewed, we touched on these 4 bags. Check them out. It doesn't have to be Milwaukee, like a lot of companies make these bags. Milwaukee happens to be a very good one. I know Snap-on makes a good one.
Husky's a similar.
Husky's a similar one. There are tons of these, and they're all very good. Some of them come free with some of the tools we buy. So that is a great bag to start. But when you get to the point where you kind of feel like there's a better way, then these are your options. And then you say, do I have any other options? So then you turn to Germans. You turn to Germans. And by the way, we already handled all the unpacking business, so check that out. It's all unboxing. I know it's a big deal on YouTube, so we're sorry, we're not going to go through unboxing. We already did that. So this backpack is Modular X18. This is actually the hardest bag to find on YouTube, at least for now. There are 2, 3 real reviews. They are, one I believe is in Bulgarian language, and another one is in German. So I found a way to tune closed captioned to translate, and I watched them both. And I thought that this bag is definitely worth checking out. You remember we just talked about the weight, this being the lightest? But there are some other things with this bag that we would want to get something different. This is by far the lightest bag compared to all these bags. By its size, it's as big by volume as this bag. Check this out. But by weight, it is just you can look at the specs, but it's like 20-25% lighter than this. And while this handle doesn't look as beefy as that, it is still very, very comfortable. And there are some other really cool things about this bag. This thing is addictive. Check this out. It just goes on it. It's like, oops, and it just clicks right on it. Addictive because it makes a very nice engagement. And what's nice about this engagement, it's effortless. So I like this. It is much better than the other things. Here's another huge factor where I think this bag, as a backpack, has a huge positive. So look at this. When you load up this bag, and it's going to take probably double as many tools as there is. We should have weighted this, but this is like this good 30 pounds. What do you think?
At least.
At least
25 to 30, yeah.
25 to 30. Yeah, that's a little more than 30 pounds. So you get, say, 50 pounds. Let's go conservative. Because when you have a nice bag, you're going to stuff it up. And now what happens, all that is going to be low. This is going to be your low transition strip. Pretty much from here, these stitching points, right to here. And it's certainly going to take its toll. I mean, it's holding up now because it's just, it's how it is, but it is going to, I think this is the weakest point of this bag. And the other thing to keep in mind, this is the kind of a lightweight items here. A laptop, a couple of chargers, wires, maybe some meters, electric meters, and the heavy part of the bag is going to be from this point on. So it's definitely going to put a lot of stress on these two joints. So this is what fellow Germans did. Check this out. Let's talk about load distribution business. We still have this addictive strap here, and this is what it does. Check this out. It separates, so this is your load distribution, the way we know it in the heavy duty business, right there. What they did, they give you, so if you have light stuff there and you're comfortable with it, this is fine. You can just do that. You can open your backpack and do your thing. We'll get inside in a moment. But if you did load it up and you do have 50 pounds or close to rated capacity, you simply put this. So now what we have this load distribution goes into, there's a metal rod. I'm not sure if it's metal, but it's some kind of very, like it doesn't give. Yeah, I don't think it's metal, but it's something that is very sturdy. I wonder if it's carbon fiber maybe, like Porsche, carbon fiber.
Some sort of composite.
Yeah, composite. But what it now does, it all of a sudden takes this load and distributes it across this width because we have this piece. And now from this piece, it just jumps over right to this part of the bag right here. Check this out. And let's say you just want to wear it and use it this way, because that's what I would do. Then if you do need to go after your rear compartments, that's where your laptop would be, then that's all you need to do. And this is nice. This is very nice finish, very luxurious. I'm not a big fan of this type of finish here when you look at everything else, quality level, but it works, okay? So that's that. You certainly have plenty of room. I like that there's minimalistic recess there, so the laptop easily slips in there. And by the way, if anyone has laptops and you're like, what's up with this laptop? What is this? So this is the writing device for the laptop. It's also a great handle to carry a laptop. So, and it does have a little charger port. But anyway, this works great. If you do need to have a laptop with you in your tool bag, this is a great bag and a very light bag. And you also have this compartment here. What I like about this compartment, you don't have to fully open it. You can just crack it open and just go for it. I did like that. That's great. It has another compartment here where you can, kind of a see-through compartment, so you can put all kinds of wires in there. And here you have your chargers, and there's still plenty of room down the bottom. You can still slide things, and there's room going in and underneath. So,
what about the measurements? Want to measure it quick?
Yes, let's do the measurements. Did we do the measurements on that one? We can do them side by side. Here it is. So we know that this was claimed to be 13 inches, and it's very close to that. And the height is, we're actually going to go on the inside. So the inside height, because that's what's important, is 18 inches, right there. And it was confusing because specs on the stool bag list 21 inches. Apparently that's with this handle. And then the cross measurements at this point, 14 inches. And at this point, it is 11 inches. And here's another measurement that I wish manufacturers provided to us. It's this measurement. And this is 9 inches. Because that is going to be a limiting factor, how you can and what kind of tools you can put in here. The recess here is 2.5 inches. So those are very important things. And we will now look at this bag and look inside. This is actually very, very cool. There are a lot of compartments here, And you can see these over here. They're a little different distance, and and there are more on the inside. We're going to pull this out. So this Velcro in there, and this is a hard bottom. It's just plastic. There's nothing soft about it. And I don't actually, I like that. I'm okay with that because other than laptop storage, I think that soft packing is going to be a dirt magnet. It's going to collect stuff under it and it's going to make it hard to clean. So this insert is very, very good. We're going to look at another manufacturer that is big on these inserts because it gives you extra storage and it's a mobile storage within mobile storage. That's another very important thing. So we're going to talk about that more, especially with the other brand. And yeah, that's where we have these things. And as far as putting stuff in there, yeah, it's, you know, it goes in there. If it's a right fit, it's a perfect fit. If you put it somewhere where it's a little bigger, yeah, it's still pretty good. You can put things, you can put certain things sideways, for example, like this. So that might work. You can put them this way. So there are different ways. Once you have your tool bag and you play with different arrangements, you will certainly, it'll take 2 or 3
trial periods.
Trials, yes, trials. Actually, I'm on my 5th trial with my bag that we're going to talk about. So dimensions, we have 12 inches, and on the inside, the very, very bottom, because it has rounded edges, it is 12, a little above, it's 13. So at the top of the plastic base, it's 13. On the bottom, it's 12. And over here, 13, and on the very, very top, we're measuring 10. And if you look at the profile of this bag, and this one is very similar, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this being this thin on the bottom for these types of bags because all your heavy items going to be on the bottom, the handle sticking out, and then the smaller items, you still need to have access to them. So that's actually a nice feature for this type of bag. And another nice feature of this bag are tons of these, how do you call them?
Storage loops. I'm sure there's a technical term.
Mole system. You can have different bags. You can have different things. You can certainly have screwdrivers here. That would be no problem. Even though I'm not a big fan of only 2 contact points, but this is not for storage. This is for work. Like if I'm working on something and instead of laying tools somewhere around the work area, this is a great spot to have your tools, but this is not for carrying your tools. But if I do want to put pliers, that wouldn't go. But if I just want to snap them in there, that's okay. That would work. What else do we have? We have smaller, if we have something smaller. So this is what this is for, in my opinion. And of course, you can also have anything like this. That certainly works great. And the small items work great. So, but it doesn't have this massive kind of like out of the blue storage compartment. It just doesn't have that. So if you going somewhere and it's not very far, you just need to carry a bunch of stuff, it's only what you can put in the bag or hang off of the bag. With this bag, you have this compartment, and I think for someone who works in construction or electrical, I think that's going to be a huge plus. We didn't even talk about this side because there's another storage compartment. These are all the same size. I wasn't a big fan of that. And then there is a kind of like a pocket here. So I think this bag would be awesome for for an electrician, this would be a very, very good bag. This is much heavier duty and you can put a lot of bigger stuff. But this is very, very slick, very nice, and I do love this bag. For me, what is important, if I end up with a backpack, how can I store away this business? Because I don't always use it as a backpack. In fact, very often I use it just with a handle. And then this is on the way. So how do you stack that away? There's no way to really find a good spot for this. So you would have to kind of do that and maybe come up with some kind of a Velcro business, Velcro strip, and just hold it. So you can do that, but there's nothing engineered out of the box. While this didn't have anything engineered out of the box, but there is a way where you can actually use this strip in the middle to make it much more compact. So check this out. See? And then it does take a little bit of time to put this back in. So it's not pretty much snap of your fingers, but you can do this, and then there's a little Velcro there and it can keep it a little tighter. So I like that. On a mission to find an ultimate car and bike enthusiast bag, we started from here. Craftsman, 2 very nice Milwaukee bag, and we even touched on a Porsche level of bags in our opinion. It's a very nice bag. It's very sporty, it's very light, it's nice quality. And then we still felt there's something better. There's something better. And we didn't have to go very far because we're in Massachusetts. And this is happening in Connecticut. There's a company that's called Veto, Pack. They make these bags. So this is a lovely bag. First of all, it's kind of very homey because it's got these materials.
Yeah, it's very pleasing to look at.
Yes, very pleasing to look at. And then these guys, I watched a lot of videos. In fact, I started from this bag. I started from this bag as far as my research. And then I just couldn't believe that there is you just start research and you just land on the right bag. So we had to go through the exercise. At least I had to go through the exercise, but I wanted to share this experience with other viewers because if I saw this video, it would be very helpful for me, very, very helpful. So
it's helpful for me.
Okay.
And yeah, for the viewers, I'm learning too.
Yes.
This has been Dmitry's project, and until I acquired Dmitry as a good friend, I've literally been working out of this bag for years as a hobby on the side. It is missing some tools that I left in my garage.
So that was probably a 40-pound bag when you were...
Yeah, I still have my half-inch impact in the car, actually.
And it came out of there?
Usually I just set it on top.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is and Veto makes variety of bags, and they're so tuned. It's almost, I would say, it's a snap-on of tool bags. It is the snap-on of tool bags because not only they've been doing it for a while, but it looks like every time they come up with a newer generation, it doesn't look like it. It is what it is. Every time they come out with a newer generation, because I watch their older videos, they come up with much better product. And what they do based on the videos, they give these products to certain users and they get their feedback. And these are not just regular users like myself or Ian or even maybe people that even work more with these bags. These are very specialized technicians. And then they come up with different types of bag configurations. But throughout these configurations, they maintain an amazing level of detail that goes into not only manufacturing, but design and engineering. These bags are engineered. They're designed for looks. They're engineered for durability and functionality. And it literally starts from a very simple pocket. Like this pocket, what could be simpler? You can have the same pocket over here, but you can only fit so much in that pocket, and this is a very wide pocket. This pocket, even though it's narrower, but it's designed not only to open here, gain this distance, but it's also designed to gain distance over here. So it almost opens parallel to the base, which I found extremely simple, thoughtful, and consistent throughout the rest of the Veto products. So this is just one of their bags. Let's get the dimensions out of the way, because clearly it is a smaller bag. It is much smaller bag than some of these bags. So it is smaller than this by height. It is about the same height there, but it's much more narrow, but it does have pockets on the side. And it's certainly smaller than that. The bag we are talking about, it's called MB5B. And we're not going to dive into this specific abbreviation, but there's logic about that. So when you go on the Veto website, you'll see how that works. But it's the meter bag, so it's kind of designed for meters. I initially did not even look at it because I said I don't need a meter bag. But this is so much more than a meter bag. So dimensions, the base is 10 inches and width is 6 inches. It doesn't
Very
sound
small footprint.
very small footprint. And then you have about real space 14 and a half up at this point, okay? And it's pretty much the same. There's a little bit of rounding off here. And then, so this was actually the first bag I end up getting. No, I got a couple other Veto bags, but I got this one and I said, this is a very nice bag. And then I said, you cannot just settle for the first bag. You got to look at some others. Milwaukee is a great brand. Knipex is an outstanding brand. I was looking forward to getting to know this bag, and I'm glad I did. And then these two, they have phenomenal features for like heavy duty work. Not that this wouldn't do heavy duty work. They have bags that would be, I would say, better choices. They have all these features and some. And they're a little more expensive, but not much more expensive than those bags. All these bags are premium, high-end bags. You couldn't get any more expensive unless you get into something like Louis Vuitton and some other business like that.
I was going to say they're more expensive than most
bags.
fashionable handbags
Oh,
as well.
This is very fashionable. I had a couple of compliments from people that are not into tools because it does have some nice appeal. Okay, so that's what we have for dimensions. This bag has massive side pockets, and it has some other really cool things that I think you will agree that this makes this bag what it is, for me anyway. So we'll get to this business. So here are some tools. This is not everything I have, but here are some tools that's in there. And I did try to put these tools in those bags. And if I start doing that, I quickly realize that the pocket system, these things that Veto bags have, are unbelievable. I don't know what it is about them, but they just keep stuff in there. Some of them are spring-loaded. They have some tension back. But even the ones that are not, they just hold the stuff there and it's not going anywhere. See, you put this in here and it just feels great. It stays there. The fit and finish, while similar, it is world apart. This is so much sturdier and much more heavy dutier. And while it's heavy dutier, it's more flexible. So the type of material that they use, this is not just the cosmetic detail. There's a thought into why these are two different materials, one on the bottom, one in the middle, and one on the top. So, and then they do have it's called, I think it's called Versaswap, but a system that is very similar, that allows this to go and be clipped on a part of the bag, and it becomes also mobile if you want to take it with you. Speaking of the bag, if you want to zoom in, the type of the bag and the company, they're right there. They're in Norwalk, Connecticut, right next to Massachusetts.
We're not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor of AlphaCars, but Veto bags. If you're watching this, send us an email.
Oh, you know what?
Service@alphacars.com.
We didn't. Ian, thank you very much because we never do anything with sponsorship, right?
Yeah, we're not sponsored. We're not paid to say any of this. We're just enthusiasts.
Yes, we're just enthusiasts, and we're quality-oriented enthusiasts because we deliver an amazing, unmatched, I would say, in the industry level of quality to our customers when we work on their cars, when we look for cars for them. And you know what? When we look for products to make our work easier, we kind of look for the same level of quality. And not to say that this is not a good quality. This is an amazing quality. This is really very, very impressive. But then you run into something that it's like, oh my God, it is just unbelievable. And it's not even that much more money. So thank you. We're not sponsored by this company. And they happen to be in Connecticut. That was a pleasant surprise. Doesn't look like they make the products there, but they design them there. And they do a great job. They have a great website. And they do have a 5-year, I think it's a 5-year warranty on their products. And I read up on that warranty. There were no complaints. First of all, products hold up. And then if someone has an issue, they just fix it or replace the bag. So there are a couple of cool things. I do like this strap, and while you saw some, like this one, for example, has 2 on the sides, this Porsche style, we'll call it, Knipex.
It's like opening the Porsche hood.
So, and it even has a little bit of spongy, springy, elasticy feel. And I was initially excited about that, but then I was not, because you don't need this. Because if you want to open it a certain distance, you just do it that way. And by the way, this is just one of the straps they offer with the bag. They have another one that has adjustable length, and you can have it as a little table. So I also like that there's only one, because you actually have 2 hands, and you go this way, and you go this way. And having one here is not a big deal. It's fine. This, on the other hand, is kind of like, makes it not as much, not as easy. Small detail, but I found it very important. So we're going to take this off so we can open this a little more. And this has a great access down here. And if I try to put these tools in here and I start putting it in there, they just don't fit as tight. They either too loose, or you cannot fit them. Like in this one little pocket, I can fit 3 tips, okay? And they stay there. My bag fell down from my back seat when I was braking. It kind of went flipping. I opened it up. I think only this came out. Everything else was in its place. And it is just forming nicely to an object you're putting in there. And if I were to do that in any of these bags, it would be either too loose and it would just be sloppy and it would come out, or it wouldn't fit. So I love that. And you can pretty much fit all kinds of different things in there. And they stay there. And a little tip, so these compartments are harder to get to. And if you happen to have this type of screwdriver from Snap-on, it actually, applies for any of these bags. So it gives you a little more leverage when you need to turn something, but it also gives you a really nice and easy way of putting it in there. So I found this very handy. And then you have all these compartments in the back that you can put stuff in there. Like, you see this? That just goes over this elasticy compartment, and it stays there. All I need to do is just go like this, and it just stays there nice and easy. Yep, fits right in there. And then if I need to, I use metrics, so they're right here. I can just take it, put it back in, and these are commonly used sizes over there. So I use that. Then you have your pliers. You have the caliper. I need a caliper once in a while. This tool is nice for the bag. It's not a super high quality. Certainly not the quality I would use daily. But what I like about this tool for the bag, you have 2-in-1. So, and it all fits in here. And then, one of the best parts of this bag is actually backpack feature, because it has backpack straps, and the way there's another massive compartment here that you can still put a lot of stuff in there. You can actually fit that laptop. It wouldn't close, but it would stay there. But this is how this strap system works. It is totally adjustable. It is very comfortable. It's not overwhelming, but very, very comfortable. And the best part is that you can take this off. And I think this is brilliant. So you can actually take this off. And you can take this off. You see this? So, and now you have just a bag. And yes, there is a hook. This is a very heavy duty hook. And it stays in there. And then there's a handle. There's a lot of nice things. So this could be just the bag, or it could be your backpack. This one, I think, is for, which side is this for? I think it's for this side. I had it on the wrong side because it's facing this way. But here's the thing. This is something that I came up with, and it worked out awesome for me because I do not use it as a backpack very often. So you saw me store this one easily on the inside, just like that, okay? So it just goes in here and you close this, right? And then you can fit another one and just be a little bulky, but instead you can do this. You see, these are my sunglasses, and light version. But do you know what that is? That is the backpack strap. And we can show you how it works with it. So with this going in here, that's it. And this is a very comfortable bag. If you look at this, this is very heavy duty, very smooth turning, very, very nice connections. And these points, you can just tell they're never coming apart. It feels like you can tow a vehicle with it. We already talked about this part, right? And then these are brilliant because you can have your tools here. If I'm going to go and do a couple things and I know I'm going to need these tools, I can just put them there, and then I can put them, and there's a magnet here. Check this out, boom. And I can just go and work on a vehicle. Certainly not going to lean this way, but work somewhere. So that's one. And you can also put it in the back pocket just the same way, right there.
You can turn your pants into the tool belt.
Yeah. Or you can put it over the tool belt.
Your actual belt, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
your
amazing.
actual belt, right there. And it's all right out of your tool bag, right there. That's actually the best probably spot for it. Mm. And then they come with a bag, and you have two of them. The other one is on this side. And they're very easily removable. So that's that. We covered all the inside features. And this compartment here is nice too because it actually is not deep. Most of the bags have these compartments that go all the way down, and they're useless. But this one, it stops up here, and you can still put stuff there. It actually stops right here. Then, on the outside, we have these compartments that are quite substantial. They don't look like much, but they're quite substantial. Not to mention this business here. And as I mentioned with the front one, this is also designed the same way. So when you put stuff there, you can actually use full depth like that, because you see how the bottom comes out?
Oh, it becomes almost a square pocket.
Yes, this is incredible. Whoever, I'm not sure if they designed it or they just kind of, I'm sure someone engineered it this way, because it doesn't just happen. Because when something happens, it happens kind of like...
For a reason.
Yeah. Because most of the time there would be a stitch there, and this is how it would be, and you would have a decent pocket, but nothing like, oh my God. This one has this entire material that turns it into a very beefy stuff. So you can actually put stuff in there. You see that? And there's still stuff in there, and you can still put stuff in there. Look at this. Because of that feature, I just put those two things, closed it, and it's totally manageable. And then when we get on the inside, there's definitely a lot more room. And this is the strap I was telling you about, the one that you have an adjustment so that you can adjust how far that opens. And now this can be also, if you want to have kind of more open space there, you can place that in here. This is how this works. And on the other side, what can you fit in these compartments? You can fit an 8 through 19 millimeter metric set easily.
Would not have expected to see that in there.
Yeah, and there's still room to put more stuff on these pockets and room here. So I tried to put this stuff in some of these bags. Yes, I can fit it in there, but it just doesn't feel comfortable. And when I fit it in there, there's not a whole lot room left. Yes, you can put a couple more kind of pieces here and there, but nothing as well organized as it is in this particular Veto Pro Pac MB5B. So the last part of the bag is the front part. And I do like this part a lot, because for quick access, like if I have a wallet, I can just have it here. And again, because of these elastic featured pockets, it's an easy fit. And again, see how this thought out, this transparent pocket is short. So if I have to put something in here, it's not going to drop all the way down that I would never retrieve it. So this is highly functional. And then there's room there. In my estimation, I'm using about 65 to maybe 70% of the reasonable capacity of this bag. You can fit even more stuff in there, but this is what I call reasonable capacity. There are probably a few other features I forgot to talk about it, but this, for me, turned out to be an absolutely best bag.
Best match.
Best match. And it's nice when not only it matches, but it also looks great. I do like the kind of like the polished look of this bag, but I like this bag much more because I can appreciate the engineering and thoughts that went into designing this bag. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are. Please leave your comments. It is very, very important. And first we're gonna ask Ian what is his opinion, because he's a car enthusiast. He has a bag that he's using now. And I think he, may wanna get a newer bag at some point. So what kind of bag would you get?
I do like all of them. I do agree with most of your points. For me, it would be between the German Porsche bag or the Veto bag. The Milwaukee bags, while I've been using Milwaukee, they are very heavy on their own, and in a construction environment, I think they're excellent. But for the environment I would be using them in with the tools I have, I think the Veto or the German bag are gonna be my choice.
Yeah, it was a tough call for me. I was very, very close between these two. And as far as like fit and finish, you definitely have, like these two are, I think the strength and quality of materials is for me, it's this bag. It's very, very nicely made, very, very strong. And then this one right next to it, as far as appeal and how polished things are, this is it. And then this is great, super functional bag. I think it's gonna be an excellent bag for construction environment. But if you want to spend just a little bit more money, try Veto bags, because for just a little bit more money, and bags usually last, according to Veto, their bag, they're warranted for 5 years. So if you're gonna spend even extra $100 on your $300 bag, at the end of your 5 years, if you split it by a year or by month, it's insignificant, but you do get a phenomenal, outstanding features with your Veto bags. So I think we covered a lot in this video. Is there anything else we can add?
I just want to say thank you to the viewers for this. You could call it an AlphaCars special. It's definitely been a long review and pros and cons and very detailed video.
Yeah, we put a lot of hours into researching these bags because we did try, I tried this tools and some other tools in all these different bags. I would definitely take it out for a few days and then come back to another bag. And I have to say, for me, that's this bag. But yeah, thank you very much. If you stuck through this video, that means you are not only a dedicated AlphaCars and motorcycle viewer, you're a true motoring enthusiast. And thank you for viewing this video. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and we'll see you next time. Ian, thank you very much for running the camera. Thank you for your input on these awesome products. All of these products are awesome. Thanks for watching.